Welcome to Attention Retention with Jackie McManus, your source for the latest trends in transportation recruitment and retention.
And now, some help in recruiting and retention. Tips and advice on how to recruit quality drivers and support staff and keep them happy so you can hold on to them. This is Retention Attention with Jackie McManus on the Tim Ridley Show.
Yes, it is time for us to visit with our good friend Jackie McManus. The question this morning is, what do you look for to make sure a trucking company is the right fit for you? 615-292-6366. Or if it's easier for you to submit your comment via email, you can email me at tim@radionemo.com. Jackie, good morning to you.
Tim, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you this morning?
Doing great, thank you. Excited to be on, and happy New Year to you.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you as well. Always great having you on, and we always look forward to it. Another great question, and a lot of times if you don't do your correct research, you can find out a little bit too late that that company is the wrong fit for you. It's not the right fit, but you've been finding out other things too along with that from the trucking companies you deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. We're finding a couple of things, and that's why it's always great being on the show and talking to drivers. And thank you, drivers, for, calling in advance over the years and, really helping us shape a lot of our communications with our clients, or our clients that our trucking companies can hire better and retain their drivers. That's really what it comes down to. And there are so many different ways these days for drivers to find out information on a trucking company. Back in the day, there just wasn't. It was word of mouth solely, where now a lot of trucking companies are taking the initiative to post about a day in the life of their career through YouTube videos. We're seeing a lot of companies use YouTube as a way for their current drivers to use as a creative tool to explain to other drivers why they like working for this trucking company and why they encourage other drivers to stay there. And I also would recommend, too, Google reviews, Indeed reviews, Glassdoor reviews. There are reviews almost on any social platform in today's day and age. And the beautiful thing about reviews is that social media is a powerful tool, and any employee can leave a positive or a negative, response. And the only caveat there is, I know, Tim, I was at the dinner last night and had a fantastic meal. And the waitress, we had a great experience. And the waitress said, could you, if you guys had a nice experience, leave us a review. And I thought to myself, I never think of leaving a positive review either. Sometimes when you maybe don't get your food in time, or the waitress is rude, as an example, you leave a review. But I always encourage, trucking companies to get more reviews from their current staff. So I know we just said a lot there, but I definitely would like to hear from the drivers. And the reason why I asked is what do you look for to make sure it's a good fit? Honestly, monetarily, which is a big deal, obviously, but more importantly, culture, like a company that you want to stay with over a couple of years, or even retire with. What do you look for in the initial phone conversation with recruiters, or what questions do you ask?
Very great question, and you're right. There are so many outlets, so many ways that you can check and see about if that company is going to be a right fit from you. We were just talking about that, I believe, a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week before last, in terms of the tools that we have at our fingertips now. Usually, back, like you said, back in the day, you did not have that. All you had was word of mouth, basically. You would talk to as many drivers as you could that drove for that company, but you didn't have the internet. You didn't have these chat rooms. You didn't have the social media or anything like that. And another thing that you're absolutely right on as well, Jackie, is that we're very quick to give a bad review if something didn't go right, but we very seldom, in most cases, we very seldom think about leaving a positive review when things do go right. So that being said, with drivers, if something is not right with the company, they're going to let you know that something is not right with their company, as far as leaving reviews and so forth. So I tell you what, the lines are piling up for you, and we're going to go ahead and take us a break or a little early. Yeah. Hey, we all love you. That's for sure. But Jackie McManus is with us. This is Tim Ridley. We'll be back on the other side of these messages. How do you know? What do you do to make sure a company is a good fit for you? That's the question this morning. And we'll head to the phone lines on the other side of these messages.
Back to Retention Attention with Jackie McManus on Road Dog Trucking Radio.
All right, we'll head right to the phone lines. And first in line, Jackie, is Crazy Caper in Pennsylvania. Crazy Caper, good morning. You're live on the show with Jackie.
Good morning, Tim, and good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, Crazy Caper.
The company I'm currently with, I've been with them almost 10 years.
Whoa, congratulations. That's a decade.
Yep. Yeah, almost. And I got no intentions of leaving. And it's not the pay that's keeping me. It's a family-run business.
Love that.
Yeah. There was one day I had a very bad day. My truck caught fire. And I called
gosh.
I'm okay. Like, I was okay. Got my cell phone, called 911, got the fire department rolling, and then called my dispatcher. And there was 5 questions he asked me.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the order he asked me. Are you okay? Then he asked me if my wife was with me, and she was not. Then he asked me if my dog was okay, and she was not with me either. And then the other 2 questions were about the truck and trailer. In that order.
Yep.
So they're more concerned about the drivers.
Yep, that's absolutely beautiful. And those are 5 questions that you remember to this day. If you think about that, that the top 3 were about you, your wife, and your dog. I mean, that's what this is all about, right? And then about the accident and the specifics of the trailer. So that's just beautiful that you still remember that, to this day. And so glad you're okay during that accident. Yeah. That
was like 2 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, you clearly remember that. That's really, because, that's one thing, Crazy Caper, is that pay is competitive across the scale with companies, but what it comes down is how they treat you. And if they remember you, they remember your wife, they're asking how you're doing, that's what it's about. You want to help people that help you.
Yes. Yeah, the dispatcher that I was speaking to, it was his grandfather that started the company.
How cool. So multi-generational. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his father is president of the company.
Got it. So it truly is a family-owned and run company.
Yes.
And they treat their drivers like family. Well, that's great. And how did you hear about that company just, 10 years ago?
I had only been driving for about 2 years when I started here. 1.5 years, 2 years. And a friend of a friend told me to come over, and one of the other drivers that I knew from the previous company came here.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's great. So a friend of a friend is the way to go, and love that this company is keeping up their end of the bargain and treating you like family. That's fantastic, and that's exactly what I wanted to hear. And I appreciate you calling in, Crazy Caper.
Yep. All right. Have a great day.
You too.
All right,
Thank
Crazy
you.
Caper. Thank you, buddy. Be safe out there. Mighty Joe is with us. Mighty Joe, good morning. You're live on the show with Jackie.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Hey, good morning,
Doing
Mighty
great,
Joe.
thanks.
It sounds like the last caller and myself could pretty much be working for the same company, almost. I mean, the company I'm with, I'm here just over 4 years, and almost 4.5 years. And,
Wow.
you know, like the guy, his company, it's a family-owned and run company.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the kids are the ones running it now. The father's retired, the guy who started the company. But they actually treat us like human beings. They care about us. You know, my wife is disabled, and they still, every so often I call in or I'm at the yard, they'll ask me how she's doing. So, you know, they don't want us doing anything that they wouldn't do themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
when I was looking for a company, you know, I'd seen their trucks, and I started talking to some of their drivers that I'd see, you know, stop to get fuel or whatever, and actually asked the drivers, because I don't trust. And just had something fall in the bunk of the truck.
Oh, geez.
Something fell off a shelf back there.
Okay.
I don't trust anything that companies will post online or anything most of the time, because they don't want to have anything negative showing about them. You know, company I worked for before I came here, they required us to go online to, I don't remember what the site was, one of the many sites where, you know, you can leave reviews for them and whatnot, and we were not allowed to leave anything negative.
Oh,
if we did, they would go in and delete whatever we posted, and we would get in trouble.
Wow.
So, yes, I don't trust it. Companies are
not advised. I would tell you that.
Unfortunately, companies do not want anything negative shown about them, and they are going to lie. I've had companies lie to me in the past that, we pay this, we guarantee this, or what. No. This company here, I have yet to have them lie to me.
Straightforward.
Everything they told me in orientation, everything the recruiter told me, even with dispatch, they have never lied to me. So,
and that is the most important part. And honestly, Mighty Joe, like 4.5 years is a long time these days. You know, maybe back when our parents and our grandparents were working, it was a different story. But 4.5 years, today's world is a long time. A lot of folks are leaving after just a couple of years, and I agree. I think that is like a terrible way to use online reviews, because then there are drivers like yourself, which is warranted, and same here, that can you even trust what's being put on the internet? And a lot of that we talk about with companies is that every review is whether good or bad, you have to address it. Because there's core issues that are happening internally, whether it's, drivers not getting a full understanding of what they're walking into. And then, like you said, like orientation, that's where it all happens. So the driver's getting the exact information from the recruiter through orientation and having that standard process and conversation, then there's no room for guessing or expecting or being lied to, because it's straightforward. So I'm so happy that you found your home, Crazy Joe. I mean, that makes a world of a difference, especially if they call in and sorry about your wife, but they call in and they ask how she's doing. It's those little touches that just they add up over time, and they're harder and harder to find in today's world.
Yeah, I've worked for quite a few companies over the years, and some of them are better than others, and it's just a matter of I've learned talk to the drivers. Don't go by what recruiting says or nowadays what you see online. Go out there and actually find the drivers and talk to them. That's where you're going to get the best information.
Yep.
Because drivers are not they're not going to give you any. They're not going to lie to you.
No.
If it's not a good company, they're going to tell you right to your face, don't come here.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and where are we both going? So,
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest, and the best way, the traditional way of talking to current drivers is always the way to go. And most recruiters now, if you can't find drivers, they definitely will give you, a reference list. But if you can find drivers, that's even better because it's not as scripted.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for calling in.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, we appreciate you, Mighty Joe. You be safe out there, brother.
I will. You guys take care.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple of emails for you, Jackie, and let me pull this back up here. Okay, he says, good morning, Jackie, and thank you for this topic. I've been with my company going on 3 years now, and what I've realized out here on the road is that many drivers do not do their due diligence before bailing ship and going on with another company. They find out they just jumped into the frying pan. For me, I did my due diligence. Just as you mentioned earlier, there are various ways to check out a company. It took me several months to check this company out, but I'm glad I did. Once getting here to the orientation, I realized that I had found my home for life. So 3 years is going to end up being 20 or more years because I'm not planning on going anywhere. And thanks again for bringing this question up.
Beautiful.
All right.
I absolutely love that. I mean, like we were saying to Mighty Joe, 3-4 years, that's a long time in today's world, Tim. Especially as the newer generation comes in, they're switching jobs every year and a half, 2 years. But with our industry, we still have that nostalgia and companies and drivers that want to stay for retirement, right? And I think that's a beautiful thing. And there's so many ways online to find reviews. But if you're skeptical, there's ways just to find local drivers at the truck stop. And I think the biggest point that this person that emailed in really hit on was not enough drivers do the due diligence, and it took this person a few months, and that's okay because you're making a massive switch for yourself, your family, your kids, your quality of life, depending on the route you're taking. So take that time. There's, you Google the company, go to their Facebook, go to their Indeed, go to Glassdoor, and if you're not satisfied with those reviews, go find some drivers and talk to them. And if like I was mentioning earlier, if they're not in the region or if you're moving or you can't find those drivers, ask the recruiters for a list of 10 drivers that are currently happy with them, quote unquote. You'll find something out through those conversations because I think no matter what, drivers won't lie to drivers, and that's the most important part.
Absolutely. We're going to, I got one more I'm going to get out, and then we'll head back to the phone lines. He says, the company I work for is all about family. I work for Joel Morrow's brother, and I'm going to retire here. Now, Jackie, Joel is he's a wonderful one of our Road Dog brothers. As a matter of fact, they gave me the opportunity last year to drive his brand new Volvo. And it's on YouTube as well. But yeah, I had a great time. And Joel is just a great guy. He and his brother own a trucking company. So this guy, he actually drives for Joel's brother, and he is going to retire there. And I can understand they are great people and run an awesome company. But let's head back to the table, and Chrome Badger is here to talk to you. Chrome Badger, good morning. You're live on the show with Jackie.
Hey, good morning, Tim. Good morning, Jackie. Thanks for taking my call.
Good morning, Chrome Badger.
Good morning. It goes in line, family-oriented company. My old company was one of those, big ones, and you were treated more like an unwanted necessity. Over here, they really care about you. They're really small. They treat you like you're part of their family, like your son or your nephew. Really good people. But what I've come to realize, what happens, guys get caught in the middle of everything with the big cookie-cutter companies. They misschedule things, bad weather, get hung up at shippers or receivers, then you're going to have a magic wand and you're supposed to work a miracle and figure it out somehow. They set you up for failure, and then they want to fire you. They stress guys out. But the biggest thing I look for is how they're treating you. Then the next thing is equipment, the pay, benefits, holidays, and all of that, and just overall the atmosphere, because we work, you're responsible, and everybody gets along. The worst thing guys have to deal with is needless drama anymore, and I think they get stressed out, and one thing compounds on another, and that's set up for failure for everybody when that happens.
Oh, you couldn't have hit the nail better on the head right there. And I think equipment is a big piece that you missed up. That that you told us that we didn't talk about earlier. There's usually a big correlation. If they're taking care of their equipment, they're taking care of their drivers. So ask those questions about the equipment. Go see a truck. See how the maintenance department is keeping that truck safe, because typically they're folks that are taking care of their trucks are definitely taking care of their drivers.
Yes, and that's key, because 2 nights, 3 nights a week, sometimes just one night, you're living in that truck, and the boss here actually bought me a brand new one. It was part of my little incentive to come on board, and having new equipment, well maintained, that makes life a whole lot easier.
That makes life so much easier. And how long have you been with this company, Chrome Badger?
A little over 3 years. I was at my previous one almost 20, and here I think we're just over 3 years now, and I really love it. I couldn't ask for nicer people. I mean, everybody treats you great. You just go out here, do your job, and you have a nice time. They make trucking fun. It's a fun job.
I love that. That sounds like you found the company that you're going to stay with for a while now. So thank you so much for calling in.
All right. You're welcome. Have a great morning, everybody. Be safe. Thanks, Jackie. Take care.
All right, Chrome Badger, thank you. And Jackie, we certainly appreciate you, and thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you so much, Tim. Have a great morning.